How do I become accountable for my sleep? And what does that mean to be accountable for my sleep? Because when we sleep, life is just so beautiful. And when we're not sleeping, life is miserable. So my intention with this video is to give you simple steps that you can look at to start being accountable for your sleep. My name is Carol Richard from Tapping Into Sleep, and I would like to offer you a copy of my free guide, Journey to Better Sleep, 5 action steps to improve the quality of your sleep. Because when we sleep, life is beautiful. So head on over to my website and grab a copy. And you'll also be added to my email list where each week I send you a copy of this YouTube video so you can come and watch my YouTube videos as I release one each week. All right, so what does it mean to be accountable to my sleep? Well, accountability means a willingness to take responsibility for my actions. And so how will that work for my sleep? Well, I have to be responsible for my emotions, my thoughts, my belief system, and my actions in order to help me sleep better. And to do that, I first have to own my sleep. I have to take ownership of my sleep. So a lot of times it's easy for us to blame others for our lack of sleep, but if we start taking ownership for the state of our sleep, then it can get better. And we also have to plan, right? So how am I going to plan to create the perfect environment for my mind and body to go to sleep? Because our bodies are biologically wired for sleep. They're built for this. We have just maybe taken the wrong action or created too much stress in our life that then gets in the way of our sleep. So by taking accountability, by owning our sleep, planning our sleep, and following through with the actions that we're going to plan, our sleep will get better. I know it will because it always does once we start creating awareness. So that's what I want to talk to you today. I want to share 5 steps to start taking accountability for your sleep. And step number 1, we're actually going to look at sitting with the reality of our sleep. We can't change something we don't acknowledge. So just sitting with, what does my sleep look like right now? I do an exercise sometimes called writing your current sleep story so that we can create a new sleep story for yourself. So what does that mean, writing your current sleep story? Well, when I think about my sleep, what are the 3 words that I use to describe the quality of my sleep? If it's frustration, never happening, just right? You're then going to start writing that out. So creating awareness with the reality of your sleep, looking at your emotions behind sleep, looking at your mindset, your beliefs about sleep. Do you think like it's impossible for you to get good sleep? Then it's going to be hard. So we're going to want to change some of that. But first, you just have to sit with the reality of what is true for you in this moment with your sleep. And also, what actions are you doing? I know I used to drink coffee like 24/7, thinking that I would be able to sleep after. And the reality is I didn't know that caffeine stayed in your brain as long as it did. And because it's a stimulant, it was keeping me awake, and nothing else I did helped me sleep. So when I became aware of that, I am the one accountable for not drinking coffee past noon. No one can do that for me. And if someone offers me coffee afternoon, I have to say, sorry, no, because I want to protect my sleep. And I know that by drinking that coffee, I won't. So step 1, just sitting with the reality of your current sleep story. Step 2, we'll start telling people in your life that you want to prioritize your sleep. Don't just say, oh, I want to prioritize my sleep and then not tell anyone, because if you have other people living in the house with you, or if people are used to calling you all hours of the night, you're going to want to share with them that you want to prioritize your sleep. And the reason why is not because you don't want to talk to them, is that because you know when you sleep your full night of sleep and you're rested, you're just a better person, a better friend the next day. So you can start prioritizing your sleep and letting people know by setting these boundaries. So on your phone, there is I know on my phone, there is this action I can take that I only allow certain people to ring my phone after a certain time. So I've set, my parents, my husband, my sons, my brother, people that are important to me, that if there was an emergency, I would want my phone to ring so that I could respond. However, if they send me a text, I won't hear it because my phone goes silent or bedtime mode, with the exception of these people. So creating your boundaries. I also had then taken the step to call my father and say, after 8 p.m., if you want to reach me, I won't be available. If it's an emergency, please call my husband or my son or someone else in my neighborhood that can come tell me there's an emergency. or send me a text and I'll respond to you tomorrow morning when I read my phone. How else can you create these boundaries and tell people in your life that you're not doing this because you don't want to be around them, but you are owning your sleep. You're taking responsibility and accountability for your sleep, and you're making it a priority in your life. And by doing so, then you can show up as a better friend, as a better boss, as a better employee, as a better parent, as a better spouse. Like, you're not doing this to be selfish. You're doing it so that you can show up fully to life. In step number 3, you're going to start building a plan for yourself so you can resolve issues. So if in step number 1, you sat with this and said, I'm not able to sleep because I'm really stressed at work, then what's the plan to resolve the stress from work? Is it talking to your coworkers or your manager, supervisor, and maybe delegating some of your tasks to someone else? If the stress is coming from your health issues, is it maybe making an appointment with your doctor? So that's the plan, calling my doctor. Or if the stress is coming from your family responsibilities, is there a way to look at, are the kids in too many activities? And if I'm going to choose to leave them in all these activities, is there family members that can help with the driving? Or can I maybe create a plan that 2 nights a week we order food from a healthy place so that I don't have to cook the meals, drive the kids where they're going, and try to attend to all other tasks that there is in running a household. So really creating a plan. So if you've sat with what the stresses are, then create that plan and write it out. And that was step number 3. In step number 4, I want you to take full ownership of your sleep, right? Only you can make sure that you get the sleep you need and deserve. So really taking personal ownership of your sleep. So what does that mean? Well, if you have a bed partner that snores, what could you do? What's the plan there? So I'm going to own my sleep by going to get some earplugs so that I don't hear the snoring. Or maybe I choose to sleep in a separate bedroom, especially on those nights that my sleep is so important because I have a big presentation the next day. I'm going to take ownership of my sleep and stop blaming the other person that is keeping me awake. Another thing could be those racing thoughts. Take ownership of your thoughts so that when they wake you up at night, you can say, oh, okay, I did not do what I needed to do by putting the day to rest. So it's an exercise that I give a lot of my clients. So, an hour or 2 before bed, go and review your day. What did you do or didn't do that day? Write a list, do a little bit of tapping, start a to-do list for the next day, and just kind of put the day to rest, knowing that there are things left undone. And by putting them out on paper, they won't show up at night for you. So taking responsibility for your racing mind and choosing to do whatever it takes to quiet the mind at night. And then if it does show up for you, know that tomorrow you can do different and put your day to rest before bed. So that was step number 4. Step number 5 is to get a coach or someone that can help you, educate you on sleep. Maybe you do your own research, maybe you take an online course, but do what you need to do in order to learn what it is you need to do for sleep. I know myself that when I wasn't sleeping, there's a lot of things I was doing that I wasn't aware was affecting my sleep. And I know with a lot of my clients, when we're talking about what is getting in the way of their sleep, they have these aha moments or like, oh my God, yes, you're right. That's what I'm doing. And if I took this action instead, I would sleep better. So getting someone who can keep you accountable and can educate you on how to sleep better is a great way to be accountable for your sleep. And we get coaches sometimes to help us be better at a sport, or we'll get a coach to help us lose weight. Well, it's the same thing. Sometimes we need a coach to help us sleep better. So if you're ready to get your sleep on track and you're ready to take accountability for your sleep, I am here to help you. Why don't you book an optimal sleep assessment with me so we can look at what is getting in the way of your sleep and just make sure that you get to live your life again because you're sleeping. So that's it for today. I hope you found this useful. Taking accountability for our sleep is where it starts, right? We can't change something we don't become aware of, and we have to take ownership of our sleep. Because when we sleep, oh my God, like I know it's changed my life, it's changed my client's life, and I want that for you. I want you to have a better life because you're sleeping. So don't forget to head over to my website, grab your free copy, Journey to Better Sleep, 5 Action Steps to Improve the Quality of Your Sleep. don't forget to book your optimal sleep assessment with me so we can start looking at how we can get you sleeping.